You know that moment when you're staring at a blank page and you know you need a landing page, but you're not a graphic designer, you're not a developer, and you basically have zero budget? That used to be me every single time. And here's where everything changed. I stopped trying to do everything myself, and I let AI be my design team and my development team. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a professional landing page in less than 10 minutes. No coding required, no designer required, just you and AI working together. Look, creating a landing page shouldn't feel like conducting an orchestra. But that's exactly what it is, right? You need research, you need strategy, you need copy, you need design, and then you need someone to code the whole thing. That's 5 different skill sets that you need to work in perfect harmony. And if just one of those elements is off, your whole page falls flat. And let's be honest, you probably don't have the budget for all 5. So you end up with Frankenstein page with decent copy, horrible design, and functionality that barely works. In a previous video, I showed you how AI can handle the research and the copywriting, but what about the design? And what about the code? That's the part that usually stops people dead in their tracks. Well, watch this. I'm about to show you something that's going to completely change how you think about landing pages. And step number 1 is design research. Because let's be honest, all good design is based on inspiration. The first way is actually using your own style guide or a website or a page that you already like the design on. Maybe you want to carry those over and try it out with some new copy very quickly without having to duplicate it over in WordPress or whatever landing page software you're currently using. You just want to be able to give it the copy, give it the design, and have something like Lovable code it all out for you really quickly. So in this case, I'm looking at the AI Business Society from Social Media Examiner. I could just take a screenshot of this page. But what I'm going to recommend doing is using a Chrome extension called Go Full Page. So if you Google Go Full Page Chrome extension, you'll be able to get this plugin for free, and it will take a whole snapshot of the entire landing page. This is incredibly helpful for us because it's going to give us a design style guide in one image that we can use as a design point for later. All designers go through the process of looking through other designers' work in order to find inspiration. We're not going to steal directly the page, but we're going to use it as a starting point for our own design work. And we can feed it to AI in order to capture its essence or in order to capture some of the color palette or some of the unique UI choices a designer might have used on another page. So in this case, you can go to something like Pinterest and put in landing pages to see what kind of inspiration comes up. And you can sort through all kinds of landing pages. Go ahead and find one that you think will resonate with your audience and drag it and drop it to your desktop for later. One quick tip, if you're looking at inspiration for landing pages, you want to focus on the UI of the landing page more than the stock photography or illustrations. One good stock photo or illustration can make the landing page sing, but that's not the actual design of the landing page. For example, if we look at this one landing page, you could see this photo bubble and the way the text kind of interlinks with it is really attractive. It is visually stunning, yet it might not be something that's easily replicated for your landing page. And in fact, the UI of the page is actually quite simple. If you look down at it below, there's really not a lot of design going on this page. So as you're looking through landing pages, make sure you're taking note of the type of typography they're using, the colors, the layout, not the particular photos in the page, but the way they layer everything together in order to create a type of visual hierarchy that will work with the types of elements you know are going to be on your landing page. For example, this is a very distinct landing page with a distinct UI. You can see that crane color, but you can also see the bold typography. It's very simple and minimalistic, yet you can see that even the boxes and the photographs have a type of treatment surrounding them that is very unique that could be pulled into a landing page that we make for our brand. Look for the little UI changes that different designers are using across the landing page, because that's what's going to be pulled into the design for our page when we have something like Lovable look at it and then code it for your company. As an example, I'm walking away with the long snapshot that Go Full Page has taken of our existing landing page design, and I took this one landing page mock-up from Pinterest in order to see what each one could look like for our new landing page. Now, before we move on, I have to tell you that building landing pages is only one of hundreds of different ways AI can improve your marketing. And that's why we created the AI Business Society, because you can go a long ways just by yourself. But if you go with the community, if you go together, you can go so much farther faster. Because in the AI Business Society, we are a community of marketers using AI to expand our businesses, move faster, build better, and actually think smarter. We're doing live trainings together with some of the best in class teachers on AI for business and marketing. And we are also always sharing our best tips, our best tricks, and actually leveling up together as we move forward in this rapidly changing landscape of AI. So, if that sounds like something that would be helpful for you, go ahead and click the link in the description in order to try the AI Business Society. It's risk-free because there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, here comes the fun part, because we have our design inspiration to go off of, and we also have all of our copy done, which I did in a whole different video where I showed you how to actually use Claude to create highly persuasive landing page copy. And I'm not going to cover that whole process again. You can check that link above or down in the description of this video below. We are moving on to step 2. We're now going to code and design with Lovable, which you can find at lovable.dev. Once you go to lovable.dev, you will be greeted with a big dialog box to get your project started. You don't even have to create an account. Once you enter your first prompt, it will prompt you to set up an account. So set up an account. You can even get started for free and get a sense of what this is going to look like. Now, if you go to a paid plan, you can do a lot more, but even on a free account, you can taste and see what Lovable is going to be able to do for you in your business. So let's talk about the ingredients we've already collected. We're going to go to attach, and we're going to take the landing page design. I'm going to go ahead and start with that big screen capture of our existing landing page as a starting point, and then use this exact prompt. Instructions: create a landing page based on the attached reference design. Use the UI layout and structure as inspiration, but adapt it to fit my copy. Make it clean, modern, mobile responsive. Focus on clarity and conversion. And then I left a space below for the landing page copy. That's where I'm going to go back to Claude. Again, we made a whole video about how to make persuasive, amazing, actionable landing page copy. Go and check the link for that one below. I'm going to go ahead and click copy and put that below where it says landing page copy, and then I'm going to click go. You can see that Lovable gets started right away, thinking through all the things it needs to do in order to create this landing page. It is a thinking model, so it will walk through the process of creating the landing page step by step. All right, and the build is done. But first, before we jump into the design of what it gave us, let's take a look at the thinking approach that it actually took. It actually took time to consider the image and made some notes about what it was doing after. It created that and then started rearranging it for conversion, and then set some possible next goals for us to actually build the page. Now, of course, the CTAs, it even recognized that we got no links for the CTA, so where do the buttons go? There's no links yet. Might want to add some analytics, might want to refine and customize, and there's always things to refine and customize, but let's go ahead and scroll and take a look. And you can see it's well organized. It actually looks pretty good. The white space is good. All the information is organized. Oh, I love this pricing annual versus monthly comparison. This is where it really starts to shine because it's picking up some best practices of how to make one stand out versus the other, right? A great call up bar at the end. FAQs are great. And look, it's got great interactivity already built into it. So, we got some imagery that it's designed and put in there, and a strong footer. So there we go. That is our first pass with Lovable. Now, obvious thing, we did this based on the design that we gave it, which should look more like this page. And you can see that it did not quite get the design of the page. It did pull from some of the elements. You could see some of this like green gray kind of going on here. It's pulled some of that in. It's not like the same kind of green, but it's got that gray contrast. It's a very clean look. You can see that it's pulled some of the oranges from the UI of this page and then pulled it into more of the call to actions on this page. Now, that's okay, because guess what? We can now tell Lovable what we want to fix about the page, what we want to change about the page. And we don't have to worry about clicking around and dragging and dropping and changing everything out. It's given us a fantastic, clean first pass. But I ran Lovable a second time on the other design that we picked earlier. Remember that one from Pinterest? And you could see that it's used some of it. It's gotten the blue off because this one has a little bit more of that like darker, like dark teal going on. And this one gave it just a straight, like almost cyan blue in a lot of different places. But again, that's fixable. It's given us a first good pass, and now we can actually go through and update it, change the spacing, change the font size, maybe make this font slightly smaller. So let's move on to step 3, which with Lovable is always going to be the refining stage. After looking through the page, I found a number of different things that Lovable needs to correct, and it's pretty easy. All I'm doing is prompting it now to say, make the following corrections, and I went and just made a bolded list of all the changes it needed to make. Now, you can make these changes one at a time, but it's always best to make multiple revisions in one go. One, because it's capable of doing it, and then 2, you actually use less credits for Lovable when you load up a bunch of changes in one go, because you are charged per credit afterwards, and you want to save as many credits as possible for the changes that you want to make in the future. These are some of the changes that I made. I wanted to take the attached image, which I attached another one, and said use that in the background of the hero section right here, since I don't really like this image and I'd rather use something we've used before. I want to change the headline colors to match more of the red that we already have. Instead of the light gray as a separator, you can see it's using this light gray between the white to separate it. I wanted to go to the beige, and I gave it the link for all the call to action so that this page actually works. So I'm going to go ahead and click go. And all right, Lovable went and made all the changes to the different files that I told it to make it. You can see it went and edited all these different lines of code, all those different lines that you didn't have to edit yourself. Now, of course, if you know how to edit code, you can always switch over to the code editor and go through the different pages and make the changes to the code yourself. Every once in a while, I might dig into the code to nitpick it myself, but generally, I am just going straight to Lovable, asking it to make the changes, and then you can see here that it's made all the changes I want. It's added the background image underneath. Now I'm probably going to have to change the colors. There's a color gradient over the image that I want. I need to change that. But it's added in the beige. It's made the headers now red, and it is looking a lot closer to what I originally intended. Now there's a few places where it's like, say we used the gray instead of the beige here, but it's getting so much closer. It's probably just a few more prompts away and I can have this thing looking good. That's the big difference of using something like Lovable. You don't have to go do all the nitty gritty. You just need to be clear in what you want. So as long as you're clear about what you want to see, Lovable can take all the actions around the design and the code to make things happen for you. Now, before I show you how to publish this page, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe so that you can stay tuned to all the different AI tutorials that I'm letting go on this channel every single week. Now let's move on to step 4, where we're going to actually publish this web page. If this were done, publishing is easy. It is just 2 clicks away, but there's one setting we need to change in order for it to go live, and that is picking a domain name to publish to. So let's go over to the upper right-hand corner and click publish, and you can see there are some options that we have for publishing to a domain. We can use lovable.app to publish to this subdomain. We have marketer AI guide, and we can go ahead and change that to something like aibusinesssociety.lovable.app. But if you're like me, you probably want to use your own custom domain. So you can click custom domain, and it gives you a few different options. You can connect to an existing domain. Maybe you bought a domain on Cloudflare or GoDaddy or Namecheap. If you click connect to domain, it will walk you through a step-by-step process. You just put in the domain here, and it will have a great process to walk you through how to connect it from GoDaddy or Cloudflare or Namecheap, wherever you got your domain name. But if you're new to this and want to register a domain name right here, you can actually purchase a domain name directly from Lovable. This can be more than a landing page. You can actually build full websites, full blogs with this. But for now, my favorite use case is setting up a landing page so I can test lots of different variations between them. And if you think this is wild, wait until you can see what AI can do for the sound of your brand. I'm talking full-on customized music for your podcasts, YouTube videos, and social media content. Check it out in the next video.